demands radical changes. Wall Street re-embarks on its mission. Citigroup, one of the largest US banks, publishes a report announcing the end of free water.
There is no alternative to pricing water properly and making people realize that every time they take a sip of water, there is an opportunity cost, and they feel it in their wallet. How else are you going to get people to use less if you give it to them for free?
The dam has broken. The soft sounds of liberalism grow louder to celebrate the union of finance and water.
We are going to see asset markets selling water derivatives. Even the high-frequency traders, the hedge funds, would become interested. So no, everybody sees this as an opportunity that will come. The question is just when and who will push it first and hardest.
And what would be their motivation in coming?
Profits. While also, indirectly doing good for humanity. So it's the best of all possible worlds. What could be better?
It's very immoral to trade water.
Why would it be immoral to trade water?
Because water is life.
We pay for healthcare. Just because it's life doesn't mean it cannot be priced.
The last stage in the financialization of water. The launch of a stock market index to bet on water prices by NASDAQ, a stock exchange specializing in technology. This is the first time that water has been reduced to an algorithm. Came up with the equation works in central London. As a former trader in a Swiss bank, he launched the carbon markets, where industrialists trade rights to pollute in the form of credits.
Vanvittige kjeltringer, altså. Fytte grisen. Dette må stanses.
Water used to be free in the old world, but the world is changing. There's too much stress on the system, and the most important commodity on earth can't be free forever. If you wanted to put it into the greed scenario, if you don't control it and use it properly, what will theoretically happen is those with the cash will have it, and those without the cash won't have it.
Lance Coogan is the sort of man who looks to the future. In order to attract investors, he's joined forces with the top water expert in the United States.
Look like they're green.
A cowboy living in Idaho, in the western United States. The only man who knows the secrets of a market that was, until now, reserved for experts and insiders. Clay Landry runs a company that has recorded every water transaction since the year 2000.
It isn't a reliable index. To be clear, you're not buying water, you're buying the price of water. So you're not taking physical delivery of the water.
So it's only a bet on the future?
It is a bet. Yeah, it is a bet. We're just betting whether the price is going to be high or low 6 months from now.
Some might say that this is speculation on water price.
Is it a speculation? I think we all are managing on what we think the future is going to look like.
If what people are saying is coming, you better be on top of your water situation, or you're going to be without water. And what I'm doing is getting people's focus through financial instruments to see what is actually going on the ground.
Dette kjeltringer som må stanses umiddelbart.
The world of water.
Is it too late to stop a financial takeover bid on water?
We're just at the beginning of this water revolution.
Det er organisert kriminalitet på vann, dette her. Det er ingen revolusjon.
Let the market be the only decider of how water is allocated. Price can't be the only way you distribute water, because then you'll have rich people with big swimming pools and poor people who are dead.
Varningen för varma temperaturer från klass 1 till klass 2. Och det här är alltså den näst högsta varningsklassen. Det innebär att det råder extrem värme. Varningen den gäller för de flesta kommuner i Stockholms län.
The global water rush is accelerating. Privatization, competition, profit. Key words of the liberal doctrine.
Og det er det som skaper ubalansen. Den politikken skaper den ubalansen vi alle ser. Det er organisert kriminalitet mot menneskeheten, dette her. Vann skal være gratis for alle, hele tiden, i alle land, i hele verden. Selvfølgelig er det det. Absolutt.
I was in the United Nations, up in the balcony the day that they voted, and I thought we were going to lose. I had staff with me. They were crying. I said, don't worry. We're going to be back in 2 years or 5 years, no matter how long it takes. We're going to be back, and we'll do it. And when they vote, they sit in their chairs and they vote electronically, so you know right away. So boom, 122 countries voted in favor, and 41, they abstained. They
hva gjorde Norge?
Oppose, even though they actually wanted to oppose.
Det er rett oljefondet involvert i dette vann-mafiaspillet.
Australia, United States and Great Britain. Countries that have all chosen to turn water into a financial product.
The human family took an evolutionary step forward at that point. And since then, every country has ratified. It's in one way or another, it's now universal.
So you got it now.
You got it now.
Maud Barlow may have won the battle, but she hasn't yet won the war. In Stockholm in December 2018, the activist was invited by the Nobel Committee to continue her fight at a conference about the future of water.
The United Nations calls water scarcity the scourge of the earth. To truly guarantee the human right to water, we must protect it as a public trust and a commons, not a commodity to be put on the open market for sale like oil and gas. And we must challenge the current power structures and institutions that support unequal access to the planet's dwindling water supplies. Our goal must be clean, affordable, accessible, public water for all, for everywhere, for all time.
Dette er en selvfølge. Må alle regjeringer forstå. En menneskerett med gratis vann til alle på jorden.
Well, the corporations and Citigroup and others want it to be the end of free and cheap water. That's their argument. They're saying, oh yes, it's a human right, because they can't fight that anymore, because everybody says you're an awful person if you deny it, right? So, oh yes, it's a human right, but the end of free and cheap water. When they say it's got to be a commodity, it's because they know that the scarcer it becomes in a world where you desperately need water, there's gold. It's gold. It's blue gold.
In Stockholm, Maud Barlow appears as the grain of sand capable of bringing the water market machinery to a halt.
There are an awful lot of people in elite circles, and let's face it, the Nobel's pretty elite,
that
Akkurat.
believe that the best thing to do for the water
Fy
crisis is
søren!
commodify it, put it on the open market like oil and gas, and
Det er Nobelfredsprisfolka.
right? So for me, it represented a breakthrough in getting our message out that we have to see water as a human right, as a public trust, and something that belongs to everyone. That's our goal. It's a big goal, and not one everyone shares, I have to tell you.
Thank you so much for coming. Really, really, it was wonderful. Be activists now. Just go out and sometimes it'll be hard because sometimes you'll find nobody else. It's like, why me? Why don't other people care? And it's just the way it is. And you guys will do it. I know you will. You'll be our leaders.
The winds of revolt are strengthening. In Europe, the fight against the financialization of water is fueled by the refusal to accept any sort of privatization. And in the streets of Dublin, Rome, Berlin, and Paris, citizens are spearheading the resistance.
Une vague de chaleur sur toute la France aujourd'hui, jusqu'à 42 à Paris, record battu.
Il fait vraiment très chaud et ce la nuit, difficile de faire baisser la température.
In the French capital, politicians have also taken up the fight. In 2009, the city council ousted Veolia and Suez, the two giants who shared the water market, and created its own water management company, Eau de Paris.
Honnêtement, quand j'ai porté la bataille de la gestion publique de l'eau à Paris, mais quand je dis personne, personne ne pensait que j'allais réussir. Voilà. Quand je dis personne, c'est vraiment personne. Pour avoir vu de l'intérieur, pendant près de 14 ans, le service de l'eau parisien, je suis assez formelle sur le fait que si on veut exploiter la ressource selon les intérêts du concitoyen consommateur, selon les intérêts de la ressource sur le long terme, préservation, qualité, c'est incompatible avec une logique privée. Parce que la logique du privé, c'est une logique qui sera de rentabilité de court terme.